Good evening and welcome to BBC London. I'm Alice Bandukravi. It's more than 20 years since the landmark Stephen Lawrence inquiry, which found institutional racism within the Met Police. And yet a new report by MPs has found that unjustified racial disparities still exist in policing, including within recruitment and through the use of stop and search. The Home Affairs Committee warned that unless urgent action was taken, police forces would still not be properly representative 20 years from now. The Metropolitan Police says it shares the committee's determination to reflect the communities it serves, whilst recognising there is still much to do, as Lynn reports.
The racist murder of aspiring architect Stephen Lawrence, just 18, who was stabbed to death by a gang in Eltham, which led to the devastating Macpherson report in 1999, which attacked the botched Met Police investigation and branded the Met institutionally racist, with many recommendations to improve relations between black people and the police. But more than 20 years on, an influential set of MPs says not enough has been done.
We found that progress has stalled, particularly on issues around recruitment, around some persistent and deep-rooted racial disparities, and that's not good enough, and that's why we're calling for urgent action.
For one, black people remain far more likely than white people to be stopped and searched. If you want to know what that feels like, ask Ken, who's been stopped and searched more than 100 times.
You feel violated, you feel angry, you feel vulnerable, you feel embarrassed. That emotional damage is scarring. We call it being stopped and scarred. It's in my head. So can you imagine that what happens is I go and tell my family, they go and tell other people, and so it's a rippling effect it has in our community, and it creates greater mistrust between the black community and the police.
And then there's the force itself. The recruitment of ethnic minority officers, the report says, is too slow, which the first chair of the Black Police Federation says is inexcusable.
You're not getting enough recruits from the black community because of the way in which they perceive police being an occupying force and not a police service. And once they apply to go through, the assessment process is stacked against them. And if they get through that, they're 4 to 5 times more likely to leave in the first 2 years than their white counterparts. And that in itself is a big barrier in getting a more reflective organisation.
The Met said it welcomed the committee's report and will work with colleagues across national policing to consider its recommendations carefully. It said it shares the determination that policing should reflect communities it serves at all ranks, enjoy strong relations with all communities, and use tactics to tackle crime effectively and fairly. It also said that it had given evidence to the committee on the progress it has made, while recognising that it's a police force with still a lot more to do. Lynn, BBC London.